So I asked, are you good at too many things? Or do you, what I also could have phrased that as, do you have too much going on? Or do people tell you like you're too scattered, you're not focused, you're never going to get anywhere if you don't like niche? And I'm curious, like, what are the top of mind projects you've got going on right now? Like if somebody said, what are the top 5 or 10 things that you really are sort of focusing on right now? What would you say? I started to make a list of mine. This is just from the last couple of days, y'all. Okay. So first of all, you don't know this because this just happened this weekend. Luke got a teaching, my partner, got a teaching opportunity in the UK. So he spontaneously moved to London, which is where he's from. My mom moved in with me. She's 79. She's awesome. It's great. Complicated, but great. I just had to do yard work, yeah, because Luke isn't here to do it. I have a second draft of my book due in a couple of days. I got contacted by a wellness company also in the UK to do some videos for them. They're like, hey, we'll pay you a couple grand if you'll make 4 2-minute videos. I'm like, okay. We're preparing to go to Crete in just a couple of weeks. Amy Ehlers and I are taking 15 women on a luxury retreat to Crete, which is just such a lifelong dream come true. But we're finishing up the planning on the agenda and all that teaching for that. We're launching Get It Done Lab starting on Saturday. I got asked to guest teach on someone else's thing. I got a brand new LinkedIn Learning course came out called From Employee to Entrepreneur. If you've got LinkedIn Learning, you can check that out. Oh, by the way, I still have long haul COVID. So I'm doing all this with a level of permanent exhaustion that is a little daunting. But I want to know what's up with you. What's on your list, right? What would everybody else go like, that's too much, you're crazy. And you're like, no, it's just my life, right? Living with your adult mom is challenging, but so rewarding. Yep, it is. It's challenging, but so rewarding. Julie's saying that the breathing almost put her to sleep. So yeah, nap time after this for sure. But go ahead, tell me, what are some of your, what's in your pile of ideas? What's in your unfinished project list? What new ideas do you have that you haven't even been able to get to yet, but they're sort of bubbling around back there? Lori says book about writing, marketing first book, spending time with hubby, church council chair, contest writing, more, but running late. So that's all I get dressed. Exactly. Cheryl says, finished editing my book, finishing a painting, marketing. That's so hard to get to. Yeah, the trick is to find a way of marketing that you love doing that doesn't feel like work. That's the trick. Right? So you could sing, Cheryl, you could have like little mini cabarets. How fun would that be? Mini cabaret with Cheryl Stevens, like a little 45-second cabaret on TikTok or something. Julie says, so cool that your mom is with you and that Luke got a job, but so far away, but home for him. Gads, I know, it's Gads for sure. My list has an Excel sheet on it. MK says, writing both a daily and weekly blog, finishing data entry project for an ex, getting ready for my new job, my cabaret project, finding a place to live. Yep. Fran says, just decided to write a holiday novella. Love that. Want to finish painting astrology symbols to turn into a calendar. Ooh, cool. Would like to write a nonfiction book about career change. Oh my goodness. Fran, those would make cool like mugs and stuff too. Should talk to Veronica about setting up an Etsy shop and maybe you already have that. I don't know. But once those paintings are done, I think they could be more than just a calendar. They could be T-shirts and mugs and plates and skateboards and decals, stickers. Everybody loves stickers. Might as well do the work and then profit from it multiple times, right? Shannon says, I'm on the verge of bringing in too much, but I'm also feeling I just need to keep the structure to keep it all flowing. Yep. Amy says, clearing parents' basement, 3 gardening projects in different locations, moving into my new home, nurse coaching side gig. Oh yeah, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Shirley says, I have a lot of burdensome feeling jobs right now and desperate to keep my writing going for my creative outlet. And an ex is visiting next month for the whole month in my house. Oh my goodness. That's going to be exciting. Designing a new online VIP program. Yep. Thanks for the mug, that tip. Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I do. Clark says, songs, art, books, social, merch, email, learning these new recording software. So much, and my head is fuzzy from health issue. Yeah, I know, right? Deborah says, writing an outline for my book and building my business. Right. I want to tell you, they've been lying to you. You do not have too many projects. You are not a jack of all trades and master of none. You are a multifaceted, multi-hyphenate, highly creative person. You have multiple zones of creative genius. You are naturally good at a lot of things. You are a naturally high capacity person. This is one of the reasons why you can't do small talk, because you're like, I'm dying from the littleness of this. You like to go deep, you like to go hard, you like to go real. You're hungry for real connection with people. And all that is beautiful. It makes you very rare. It's one of the only biological signs I can find for high creativity. It's not so much that we're more right-brained or more left-brained, because that's not really a thing. I mean, it's a cool construct, but it's not really a thing. But you are more both-brained. The hemispheres of your brain make more connections between more things more of the time. They find this in entrepreneurs too. Same, right? High capacity, highly creative, ability to do a lot of things. So this is why you're able to think of so many things and put ideas together in a way that no one else has ever put them together. It's why you don't mind having 50 things going all at once. In fact, if you don't have 50 things, it feels a little boring, right? If I only have 1 or 2 things on my list, I'm like, oh, forget it, right? I find that I function best when I'm just in the red zone of a little too busy. Now, right now, I'm a little past that. So that's why I'm going to go swim in the lake later. I need to calm down, because having more on your plate does not mean that you have to be more stressed out. It doesn't mean like you have to run around like a crazy person. It means you have to stay centered. It means that you have to trust that the path is unfolding, that divine intelligence is telling you all you need to know, that you are being held and protected and guided, that you are making smart decisions for you. They're not going to be the same decisions as the rest of the world makes, because the rest of the world can't do what you do. It seems weird to them, but you're not weird. You're exceptional. And this is what the Get It Done Lab is all about. It's about you leaning into that which is exceptional about you, and you finding ways to get your projects done, the ones that need to get done. Some of them don't need to get done. For many things that you have on your plate, completion is overrated. You don't actually need to finish the things you don't care about, unless it's like a legal thing, obviously, right? You can just have enjoyed doing the first third of it and then say, okay, I'm done. There's no shame in an unfinished project. There really isn't. It's not like broccoli. You don't have to clear your plate. Breathe. Exhale. You're allowed to be excellent at many things. And it's okay that other people don't get it. You might be a jack of all trades, but you're also a master of all trades. You are naturally interested and curious about a lot of things. And you're a high capacity person. You can do a lot of things. And sometimes in a different time frame than you might have thought. Some of you do things very quickly. Some of things take years and years and years to unfold. That's okay. We don't know how long it takes to write a book. There's no timeline on that. You can guess, you can have estimations, you can have a plan, and you may be able to get it done according to your plan, but you may be able to get it done a lot quicker. Or it may take you a lot more time. And just because you've written one book doesn't mean the next book is going to take the same amount of time. You have to engage in the process and be patient with yourself and be patient with your projects and let it unfold, because you'll notice it's always unfolding. And you can take joy in the unfolding instead of feeling overwhelmed by the unfolding. If you would like a special invitation to join us for the first session of Get It Done Lab, just as a guest, no charge, no pressure. But if you want to sort of check it out, send a DM to me or to Veronica, and we will email you the link. We will email you the information so you can join us on Saturday and just see how you feel about it. Because I think a lot of you are not enrolling because you think like, oh, I've got to do the practicum every day and it's 90 days and I've got to get it done. You've got this sort of self-punishing, we're going to get you in there and we're going to whip you into shape. That is not what Get It Done Lab is about. What Get It Done Lab is about embracing the totality of you and your life, including your illnesses, including your extended family moving into your house, including all the things you love and want to be doing. It's an umbrella to encompass all of these things and keep you moving on all of the things, because you have a big life. And for those of you who have the thought of like, oh, well, I don't know what project I would do. I don't either. So what? Enroll, we'll figure it out. That's what we do, first session. It's hard to move forward like on 10 or 12 things at once, but it's not that hard for you to move forward on 3 or 4 things at once. Some of you heard me use the analogy when I lived by the beach. I had a little teeny tiny stove and it had 4 burners, 2 big ones in front and 2 smaller ones in back. And I just think like, this is about right for projects. Like to have 2 big ones sort of in the front that are kind of happening now, and then 2 little ones in the back that are kind of bubbling along. I think that's a good and then the rest of the stuff can wait. You've got piles of ideas, piles of unfinished projects, not to mention all the new ideas you've got. You've got certifications, you've got degrees, you've got your 10,000 hours in 10,000 different subjects. And it may feel like, oh, I'm all over the place, right? Oh, I could never make a resume because I'm just so all over the place. No one would ever hire me for a job because I'm not really qualified to do any one thing. I'm qualified to do 50 things. I get it. Right? You may have heard me list off the number of jobs I've had in my life. I have done voices for pinball machines and answering services. I take groups on luxury vacations. I worked retail. I was a barista. I was an executive assistant a couple of times. I was a whitewater river guide. I stuffed ballots. I was a telemarketer for ballet tickets. Like, there's no job I haven't had. And yet, and including actor on TV, right? And yet there is actually a through line to all of these. And it took me a long time to recognize it. But what I really do is I uncork communication. I uncork communication, writing, speaking, telling stories, making videos, helping people communicate with each other, helping people communicate with their own selves, helping people communicate with their projects, helping people communicate the truth of what they do out into the world. Personal branding, did that for about 15 years. That's the through line of what I do. So I do have an area of expertise. It's just broad. And for a long time, I really underestimated it. Like, I never thought of myself as a writer, even though I always wrote. And I always thought I wasn't a real writer because, first of all, I've never taken a writing class and I don't really revise. I'm kind of a first draft writer. So I always thought I wasn't a real writer because I don't revise. I mean, I go back and clean stuff up a little bit, but I don't like rewrite very much. So I never thought I was that good at it because I just knew how to, I just knew how to do what I did. You've probably got skills and talents like that too, where you think, well, surely everybody must be able to do this. It's so stupid, but no, only you, really. You're the one who knows how to do all this. You need to create your own systems because the conventional wisdom systems are not going to work for you. The conventional wisdoms are the ones going like, well, you should niche down and you should pick one thing and you should do this every day and it should be very hard. And the only things that matter are the things that are hard for you. And none of that is true. You can't make money doing what you love, or do what you love and the money will follow. Both not true. Both partially true, but not all the way true. Shirley says, what you said about it that I appreciate is it's not what you get done, but who you become as you work on it. I know, right? And it's funny. I was just talking to my coach the other day, my business coach. He was like, Sam, you have to focus on outcome. You're so focused on process. You have to focus on outcome. And I was like, yeah, I get it. And yet it's all about the process. I mean, it is about what you get done, but it's more about who you become as you do it. And that should really be your only criteria when you're trying to choose a job or a project or a relationship or a house or in anything. It's not so much, can I do it or should I do it, but am I interested in who I will become as I do it? That's the question, right? Shirley says, I'm doing this lab for my own need for connection and inspiration, for sanity, and to discover the next creative project. Shirley, I'm so excited to have you in this group. I think it's going to be really a fork in the road. I feel it. I don't know why I feel it, but I feel it. Shirley says, I like who I'm becoming, but I haven't checked off that many projects. Yeah, that's okay. MK says, damn, that's a great descriptor for what I do as well. Borrow it, steal it. Have at it. June says, making folks a great cup of coffee helps people communicate. It does. It does. This is such a relief. Yes. Yes. This is what I'm trying to do, is offer you some relief. Gigi says, I love your shitty first draft approach, like Anne Lamott. You guys, when I sent in I think I told you this, when I sent in the first draft of my new book, the manuscript, the book that's coming out in the spring, I was 70% sure that the editor was going to send it back to me saying, please spend another couple of weeks on this. It's like, we can't do anything with this. This is terrible. Please fix it. I was almost sure that was going to happen. Turned out it didn't, but I was really proud of myself for submitting it anyway, because normally my perfectionism would have driven me crazy trying to make it perfect. And I knew I couldn't. I was like, this is as good as I can get it right now. So I'll send it in the way it is. And then together we made it better. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust your process. Trust the process of who you are becoming. Trust the process of your project. Trust the process of life. Trust life to hold you and sustain you as it always has. Life will not let you down. You are part of life. Life is part of you. Divine intelligence is flowing through you, expressing as you. Divine love is flowing through you, expressing as you. You don't have to worry. You don't have to rush. You can be patient. You can enjoy all your neurodiversity. You can recognize, again, you are smarter than your average bear. You're a little bit different than the guys next door. That's good. But don't sit there with your big, sexy brain and be super surprised when ordinary solutions don't work for you or don't make sense to you even. You've got to do it your way. And that's what the Get It Done Lab is all about. That's what all my work is all about. It's not like, oh, follow my incredible system, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 system, and you'll get there. If I gave you a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 system, you would turn it over and start doodling on the back of it. You know you would. Or you would get it and you go, oh, that's very good. Yes, that's a great system. I should do that. And then you never would, because you have to do it your way. That's the only way that's going to work for you. Please consider this your permission slip to do it your way. Lori says, oh, Sam, you bring tears to my eyes. Thank you for your words, but have to go now. We'll listen tonight. Good, good, good. Shirley says, I focus on how I want to feel as I do the thing. Yeah. Jillian says, I'm so excited about who I'll become through the process, but the price of making the change terrifies me. I'm living it right now, and I feel like I've been in limbo for months. Oh, Jillian, please come to Get It Done Lab, at least even just as my guest on Saturday. I think we can sort you out in 2 seconds. Again, that's just my intuition talking. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's worth a try anyway. It would be so fun to have you in the group. That would be a blast. Okay, Nell says, Get It Done has helped me so much in living with perfectionist tendencies. Yeah. And just remember, perfectionism, it's a mask. Perfectionism hides that which is true. Perfectionism is a way of squelching and inhibiting the truth that is trying to unfold from you. And this idea of I can't start until I know exactly what it's going to be, or I can't do it unless I'm sure that I can do it well. I've done it, but I don't think it's good enough to share, or I won't even start to do it because I don't think it's going to be good enough to share. I was remembering many, many years ago, I must have been homesick because I was watching daytime TV, which I don't do at all, really, because I was watching a quilting show like on PBS or something, like a daytime quilting show on PBS. This is way before streaming. This is like back in the 80s. They had a guest who was showing her amazing quilts, and the host was saying, wow, these quilts are amazing. The guest, the woman, I have no idea who she was, said, well, she says, don't let that intimidate you. She says, you know, we look at other people and their lives and we see their beautiful gardens in full bloom. And we look inside ourselves and all we see are little seeds. And I thought, that's deep. Especially for a quilting show, that's deep. Perfectionism is a mask that hides your little seeds and inhibits their growth. You can trust yourself. Again, if you do something and you put it out there and then it needs to be made more perfect, you'll make it more perfect. Of course you will. But there's a good chance it doesn't need to be made more perfect. There's a good chance that sloppy, messy first draft is good enough to communicate, is good enough to get the truth out there, is good enough to bring love to the world. Can you bring more love to the world? Because that's really what you're here to do. I think you can. I think you can stop stepping on the hose of your life. Get your foot off the neck of you. Other people aren't keeping you in a box. You are keeping you in a box. Other people aren't inhibiting your creativity. You are inhibiting your creativity. Let's cut that shit out. Join me for day 1 of Get It Done Lab as my guest. Send a private message to Veronica with your email address. We'll send you the information and just see how it goes for you. You know, you don't need to be anybody different than you are. You are perfectly made to be you. You're the only you that's ever been. That's incredible. And when you're gone, we won't know you anymore. And your opportunity to do your work will have passed. You're perfectly designed to be you. God don't make no junk. And your path has been perfectly prepared to bring you to this moment so that you can continue forward, sharing the truth of who you are and what you know and what you love with other people to inspire them, because they don't think of the things you think of. They don't put ideas together the way you do. They don't put colors together the way you do. They don't put movement together the way you do. They don't put food together the way you do. The world needs you to teach them because you're extraordinary And in grade school, extraordinary often is known as weird. We were the weird kids. We're still a little weird. The root word of weird is magic, change, a twist. Kanel says, yes, bring more love to the world. Jillian says, count me in for Saturday. Yay! Jillian. Kanel says, yep, at 76, my mortality and mortality is a more frequent thought these days. I'll tell you what, it's no joke, man. I mean, this is a one-way street for all of us. And we do not know how many days we have. Send us an email if you're watching this later and you didn't get a chance to give us your email address. So you want to join us for this coming Saturday the 9th. We'd be happy to have you as our guest. It's a real class, but I think you will walk out of there with a lot of inspiration and a lot of forward momentum and a real appreciation for that which you do so magically. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Veronica. I can't wait to see you all on Saturday. This is going to be so fun. All right, let's get our belly really poochy soft and do one more breath. You ready? Let's inhale. 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you all. Thank you for being so extraordinary.